96.5 FM, 1340 AM, KVGC. You like that, Douglas?
I do, 96.5. Very catchy.
Good morning, everyone. It's time for our weekly visit with Douglas Viviani. Everything old is new again every Saturday and Sunday evenings here on 1340 and 96.5 KVGC. Everything old is new again. I think you're more than the show that examines pop culture and, where it came from and why it's popular and all that. I think it's just two guys sitting at the bar.
Arguing.
Arguing.
The arguments you love to have over, who's the most, the prettiest Disney princess or something.
I like that pregnant pause. It was just arguing. Okay. Great, got it.
You got to have a little, everything you do, you've got to have a little bit of, even in comedy, you got to have a little bit of strife to make it work. So.
Timing is everything, Douglas. Timing is everything. So, hey, big weekend, Mother's Day, Kentucky Derby. Do you have a special hat you wear when you watch the Kentucky Derby, or have you ever been to the Kentucky Derby?
I do have I have like a hat that looks like Indiana Jones's hat. That it's my lucky hat I wear around the house. I used to go. Well, of course, Kentucky Derby I couldn't go, but to the Belmont Stakes every year, the horse race in the Belmont track is, to me, when you've got these big races, the absolute most exciting 2 minutes in sports that there is. Now, people may not realize, that some of the horse racing has kind of gone by the wayside a little bit over time. We've done a show about that. But I think it comes back to these big races because you got to spend the whole day there just to get that 2 minutes. But the 2 minutes of that race, the anticipation, and the ability to try to pick the future, looking at the past performances and handicapping the horse itself and try to be the best. Even if you put a $2 bet down to figure out who's the one that can predict the future of who's going to win this race is, I don't know, it's exciting to us. Used to have the old cigars, used to do that, used to bring in the booze, and it was a real big event. So
the closest I get to the Kentucky Derby is drinking a mint julep. That's all
right. Mint juleps are terrific. I do that, and I sit watch maybe for a half hour on the TV just to see what's happening. But you could do it now over the if you have an account over the telephone or the internet to place your $2 bet or go to the local. We have OTB. I don't know if you have any off-track betting over there, but funny, just some fun.
Funny you bring that up. Horse racing was at one time so big in California, that's what actually funded all of our county fairs. And then over the years, it's dried up. In fact, they've even tore some horse tracks down here in California, and it's got so dismal that the state has kind of disbanded some of the county fairs, and the funding is dried up for county fairs and
it's
fairs.
Amazing. The horse racing, think about it. Used to be on the radio every day. You'd hear the local, the race itself, the calls. See, look at those old movies, the old Bowery Boys, and all the old movies in the 50s, and you'd see them turn on the radio to listen to the horse race. Now it's it's really the track attendance is down from 35,000 to 3,000. And it's just kind of the gamblers that get online and just gamble on the computer. So it's any track that's playing for them. They can bet anywhere in the country. So the local tracks, if they're not doing promotionals and I don't know, really promoting it, it's a shame. We've done a show on that, and we'll do it again. I think it's a great sport, a great event because it's going to a park with your kids and your family if you make an event of it, but not enough people promote it like that. It has this seedy atmosphere that people think. But if you look at that Kentucky Derby this weekend, you will see people having a grand old time dressed up, and it's still a lot of fun if you can get involved with it. I've done a little handicapping for you real fast. There's a horse called Creator.
Okay.
There's a horse called Exaggerator. I'm going to give you 4 horses. A horse called Nyquist, which is the favorite, and my sleeper, More Spirit, which is a horse that's trained by Bob Baffert and the jockeys Gary Stevens, and that one's going over 12-1. I would put all 4 of them together, what they call an exacta box. Do a $1 exacta box. It'll cost you, $16, and you will probably win about $400 betting all 4 of those horses.
Are you going to bet?
I'm betting so that I can have enough money to buy Mother's Day presents.
Well, that's what I was going to. Can you lay a couple of down for me too, maybe? And
sure, why not? I'll add another couple dollars to my bet.
Okay, hold on. We better check with our legal departments to see if we can. If this is legal, interstate betting on the radio. Like, do you think it's legal? I think so. Huh? Hey, it's among friends, right?
Who's listening? You only go on FM and AM now. It's nobody tuning in.
I have a real quick horse race story. Then we can move on here.
Sure.
When I first year I went away to college, I went to Sac State, and Cal Expo, the state fair, had horse racing. So a bunch of friends and I went, and this is 1974, 75, and $20 was a lot of money back then. So I had $20. I go, I'm going to bet $20 at the track. I'm going to bet $2 a horse, and that $20 flew by so fast. We were out of there in no time, and back to the carnivals. And I've never because it was just, that horse looks good. That name sounds funny. That's good. Bet like that, and no, it was a bad. It was a bad
always
experience.
Always have to bring another packet of money somewhere folded up in your shoe,
so you can get gas money to get home. So that's what I always hide. I always hide $20 in the car, so you can always have gas money on the way home in case you lose it there. So
right next to the
hey, and some carnivals. I don't know if you have them there on the East Coast, but here on the West Coast, we've got like horse racing. And what it is you sit there and it's like a row of pinball games. You're sitting down and you pull the thing and the ball goes around and it moves a mechanical horse on a track in front of you. And there's actually a guy going, and whirl away around the outside turn, followed up by Seabiscuit. Seriously, it's just. Oh, hey, I'll tell you what. Remember Kenny Johnston? We talked with the guy who invented the Gravitron.
Yes.
Remember we talked with the fair. Well, if you listen to that interview, he was talking about that. A buddy of his dad is the one that invented that, and he had passed away, and they just opened up a storage locker a year or so ago and found all the molds to make the little horses and the whole business. So they're going to try to bring it back as kind of a nostalgia thing on carnivals, at least here on the West Coast. So.
Oh, that'll be tremendous. That's a lot of fun. Wow.
Anyway,
I think people really are missing the boat when you don't open your mind up to some of these things, and that might open people's mind having a kick out of watching a steeplechase or that particular race and say, hey, Dad, what about let's go to Santa Anita or something like that and check it out. So it is just a lot of fun. I've sort of brought my family into it and my in-laws and all that. And again, you could go for, you can make a $1 bet now, so it's not going to kill you. And you could just get a kick out of it. You don't have to stay for 8 hours, But anyway, I think it'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to making some money for Mother's Day. And
so you're picking who to win?
Well, I'm going to do an exacta box, which means in any combination, three of these four have to come in first, second, or third.
Okay.
So it'll be Creator, Exaggerator, Nyquist, or More Spirit.
Okay. And you said More Spirit is 12-1?
Yes.
Okay.
Nyquist is the favorite, so I'm not really doing anything there. But then the other one, Exaggerator, is 8-1 at present. These odds may change. And finally, Creator is 10-1. So it's going to, if we get 3 out of the 4 in any combination, any of them coming in first, second, or third, probably going to turn into about $430.
Wow. All right.
For a $16 bet. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Hey, I want to jump to something right away because I was watching TV last night and I saw a commercial come on for Battle of the Titans, for the Civil War one, the one Captain America versus Iron Man. And I'm thinking to myself, what happened in our society to pit Batman against Superman and Captain America against Iron Man? When did what happened? Why are the good guys battling the good guys?
That's a great idea, a great thought. I have a theory about that. These two, by the way, in comics, Batman versus Superman, which made $1 billion in the theaters, so it was tremendously successful. That happened in the comic books back in the late 80s. And the Civil War stories, Captain America versus Iron Man, happened about 10 years ago in the comics. So it's not that they're just making it for the movies, but that theme has run through comics for quite a while. And I think what they do is if you have a movie with the Avengers against Loki, which they did, and a couple, these villains that you kind of don't know who they are. It's sort of like not Battle of the Titans. You got this great team, or even this great one superhero against somebody else that you may not necessarily know so much. And you kind of know that who's going to win. When you got people or superheroes that have their own franchises, for the longest time, Batman versus Superman, or Avengers and versus Iron Man's team, you have superheroes have been around for so long that everyone knows who they are. So I think you just want to have that big battle royale, and if you have that, that's where you're going to have people turning to the turnstiles to watch a movie to see what the heck this is all about.
Now, it's funny you say battle royale, because it reminds me of it's like something out of the WWF/WWE. I mean, it's something out of big time wrestling.
Exactly. And some of those greatest events back in the day with a battle royale with Andre the Giant in the middle of the ring and like 17 other guys, all of who you knew, battling it out, trying to throw him out of the ring. Who was the king of the battle royale? They couldn't pick this guy up, but and it was so much fun because you knew all the characters.
Right.
When you don't know the bad guy, those John Wayne movies. If you go back and look at them, they're so great, but most of the time you don't know so much about who that actor is or who was the villain, so they don't stand up. They don't have the gravitas of John Wayne,
Yeah.
So I think when you've got these characters going against each other, it's very interesting. Now, the Superman versus Batman, they did have a great reason why they battled. There's an even better reason in Civil War. So I think you'll really get at least it's not just a novelty. There's a real theme. And the world is gray in comics now, just like our world now is a little bit. And so they're trying to really roll their sleeves up and battle out, not necessarily good versus evil, but nuances of good, really.
Have you been watching Gotham at all this year?
I have. I don't miss an episode. I love it.
Yeah, so have I. Do you think they're on the right track?
I think that they're. You mean the show itself?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that they this season is season of the rise of the villain.
Yeah.
And they're showing so many different seeds of where these different villains that even from the 60s TV show, but from the comics.
Sure.
Where did they all come from? What are they all about? Mr. Freeze and the Joker, and there's a reference to the Mad Hatter a couple episodes ago, and you're just seeing
the Riddler.
The Riddler, the Riddler's great in that. Of course, the Penguin is really coming to play. And I think next season, I didn't read anything about this, but I'm going to guess next season we're going to see a little comeback of good or of who's going to battle these villains. It's not really going to be Batman. It's going to be Bruce Gordon at this point. So we're going to see how does a regular guy like Bruce Gordon battle these crazed villains that all have a theme, and where did the theme come from? I don't know if you saw that, where you can see now how some of these people are creating or having these themes, these personas put into them by this evil scientist. Have you seen that?
Dr. Hugo Strange.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, see the one part that I have trouble with the show is how are they going to age Bruce Wayne into Batman, because all these criminals are coming around now, and Bruce is, I'm assuming he's probably like 14 years old maybe in this.
Yeah.
I don't think he's that old yet. So
I don't think Batman is going to make an appearance in the season or the show at all.
I think, like you said, I think it's more on Jim Gordon and how he develops into becoming Commissioner Gordon eventually. I think that's what we're going to. The Barbara Gordon character is kind of. I'm not sure about that one.
Well, that's going to be interesting. They may turn her into Catwoman earlier than we ever thought, and because if you look at the comics, that character becomes Catwoman.
It'll be
I'm not
interesting.
Catwoman. I'm saying Batgirl.
Yeah.
So they may turn her into Batgirl early. I don't know because she's older.
Right.
I don't know it's a real good question, and I think that's why they've done a great job.
Well,
is who's going to battle all these villains? It's not going to be Batman.
No. See, if you follow this, Jim Gordon and Barbara Gordon have a daughter, and they name her Barbara. And the Dr. Lee that he's involved with and has that daughter or the kid with, she's in the comics. She's like this she is a doctor, but she's off on her own and she's raising money for all these different causes and stuff. Then, so I don't know what's going to. I don't know if the daughter they're going to.
So it's the daughter that's Batgirl. So
yes,
I'm off on that.
Right.
Okay,
so I don't know if Barbara becomes good and they then get married again and adopt this baby that Jim had with Lee and raise it as.
Yeah, that's the soap opera side of it. It's a lot of fun. It's a great show.
Hey, speaking of
guessing, think about it. It's a property that's 55 years old, and we're still trying to figure out what they're going to do with the characters.
speaking of soap operas, so I don't know if this is going to, like I told you off the air the other day, right. when there's a World Series or any type of sporting event, basketball basketball championship, football, baseball, whatever, and it involves anybody. That side of the Mississippi, nobody in California or the West Coast cares. Now we've got Trump and Clinton. There's two New York people battling it out for president.
Exactly. We can say New York people, but we know Clinton's from Arkansas, and she was. We'll say it again. She was a carpetbagger who used to come here and steal the Senate seat when she did that. So she's not really a New Yorker, but I get what you're saying because I just that smile. Talk about Barbara Gordon. If you look at her, like her or not, if you look at that smile on her face, it's exactly Barbara Gordon. That maniacal, what's going on behind the scenes, behind those eyes. And that's sort of a New Yorker trait, I guess. So we'll adopt her for that purpose.
I'll tell you what, man. We are just hitting on all cylinders. We've got the interstate commerce on us now because we're betting across the state lines. Then we've got the FBI or whoever's going to contact us because we're making fun of the presidential candidates. And,
exactly. Well, we've made no threats.
That's true. That's true. No threats. All right.
Freedom of speech. But yeah, it's going to be a battle royale. That's going to be Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant, WrestleMania 3, if you remember that.
And I'm assuming that at the end, Captain America and Iron Man shake hands and they go to battle some big villain, and that's how it ends. Is that how you think it's going to end?
It does. I don't want to ruin the ending, but their relationship has changed forever, and not necessarily for the better, but they will work together again. And there's a sort of a secret superhero that kind of bridges the gap between the two of them that you wouldn't expect. If they do it this way. I haven't seen the movie.
Yeah.
So it's really going to be a lot of fun. I don't know if Clinton and Trump will actually shake hands at the end of their battle royale, but we will see.
All right. Douglas Viviani and David Cohen, they host the one of the best shows that we have on the air here. Everything Old is New Again. You are on 28 radio stations in 25 states and growing every day. Tell your friends if you're traveling and you don't hear Everything Old is New Again on the radio, call the station and demand that they – is that okay if I say that?
Absolutely.
Demand that they
give
carry.
That Hillary Clinton smile and voice, and you'll get right through.
All right. Every Saturday and Sunday at 6 o'clock, it's Everything Old is New Again. All right, Douglas, I'm going to take Whirl Away in the third. How's that?
Absolutely. I'll pull $1 down for you on my end also. We'll see what happens.
Okay. Have a great weekend.
You too.